A Sundance film now available for streaming is sparking a lot of conversation. Aftershock takes a hard look at how racism impacts healthcare.
It follows the stories of two men who lost their partners after untimely and preventable deaths during childbirth. Manning Franks dives deeper in his latest movie review.
Since about 1991, there have been 6 generally accepted types of documentaries: poetic, expository, participatory, observational, reflexive, and performative. Many times, though, this can bleed into one another in an attempt to weave together a doc with a unique voice and a powerful message. That's the strength of Hulu's Aftershock, with its blend of expository and observational style in drawing attention to an epidemic of maternal health care, one that is leaving many Black women disproportionately affected.
The ambulance came. I'm telling them the symptoms.
Is she on drugs?
Next set of people come in. Is she on drugs?
They kept asking her mother, is she on any drugs?
Like, do y'all talk?
We waited a solid 12 hours.
She's gone.
Every year, a disparate number of Black women die from childbirth complications. Shamani Gibson and Amber Rose Isaac are merely 2 young mothers who tragically are part of that statistic. Their partners, now single fathers, strive to highlight this growing inequality in maternal health care and, with this documentary, create a rallying cry for meaningful change. Using the observational style that I mentioned before, Aftershock utilizes a close, fly-on-the-wall perspective to really let the compelling actions of their subjects speak for themselves. Yet, like other expository documentaries, minus the voiceover, this film encourages you to look at an especially specific perspective, be it a different perspective from your own, or even a familiar one. It has a very human message of loss and ultimately channeling that grief to a subsequent earnest resolve for compassionate education to the viewer. Aftershock succeeds the most when it takes a step back and highlights these emotional interactions and candid conversations between family. One scene in particular between a soon-to-be mother and father discussing birthing options can be taken for granted as it seems mundane. But Aftershock juxtaposes that with the fact that not everyone, especially Black mothers, will have that opportunity to see their kids grow up. It will enlighten you, it will challenge you, and hopefully, it will move you. Those are the best kinds of documentaries. A lack of equity in healthcare is nothing new to our ears, and many people have experienced that firsthand. Aftershock provides a visual voice for an epidemic of inequality by allowing us to look into its subjects' lives through a window into an intimate aftermath of tragedy. I'm giving Aftershock a 2 approved. You can currently stream this documentary on Hulu.
Well, that is strong.
Very powerful.
It is.
We got Manning in the studio
You do. And yeah, I just want to say that is a very, like last week we had a very kind of horror comedy. This one was a little more somber in its presentation, for rightly so, though.
Manning and I were looking at this earlier, and I said, is all that real? And he goes, yes, absolutely. They were in there for, the film crew was in there for the childbirth and everything, right?
They were in there, one of them following a Black mother and a father, going through that process of them talking through what they're going to do. It just kind of gives you this, as I was saying, it may seem mundane at first, but it shows you kind of a perspective that we don't always think about.
I think that's what makes it more powerful, because we've done lots of stories on Black maternal health and just the discrepancies in healthcare, but to get firsthand accounts and see video like that compared to a quick soundbite from a doctor or something like that, that's amazing.
And it's not a reenactment, what you're watching is the real deal.
It is the real deal, and that's what makes it more powerful, because you see the cell phone video of the 2 women who have recently passed from, maternal health complications, and it's just really powerful stuff.
What would you say that you walked away feeling after you watched it?
It's really, as I said in the review, it's an education. For me and myself, I'm a white man, so I don't have the same experiences as anyone else who may be a Black mother. I'm never going to be either one of those. So it's like, I hear and I understand, and I grow as a person hearing that and seeing what I can do to educate myself and educate the viewers at home from watching this.
And that's what makes a great documentary or a great news story, when it educates, it inspires, it intrigues, and teaches you something you might not have thought about had you not watched this.
I thought it was interesting, and again, Manny and I were looking at this, and I don't know if you caught it or not, but the doctors asked her, because apparently I guess that she came in, struggled with finances, and that, are you on drugs? Like that was the first question. Yeah, over and over.
And that is the reality of what happens, when it comes to healthcare in marginalized communities.
I hope it draws you in personally, so you identify with the people
It does.
personally.
The two fathers are characters that you will compel, or subjects that will
Yeah.
compel you to the very end.
It's very good.